Greetings everyone. This week you're going to be adding a file server to your design, and you're going to build out your shares. Plus you need to make sure that you assign the proper groups and permissions to those shared folders. But the second thing I had you do is create a secondary domain controller. And I have my first server up and my second one up. The first thing you have to do in order to do this is to just make sure it's on the same network. So I'm going to type in 192.168.3.2 because that one's 3.1. We're not going to the internet, so it doesn't really matter. My preferred DNS though is my main domain controller, so I've got to say 3.1 here. So as long as you get that done, I always recommend that you ping the other server. You want to be able to know that you can, we're joined based on network address alone. So that's the first thing you have to do. The second thing you do is you actually, and there's two different ways. You can do start DC promo, which is the same thing as doing add removes. This was the old way, DC promo from here. Domain controller promotion. And this is going to essentially do the same thing as adding the role, and it's preparing it right now. So what we do after it comes up, it should come up with advanced. Now the idea of a secondary domain controller is one that will replicate. You don't have to make your users again. Once this is done, you'll actually see the replication process start, and this will go ahead and this will show you so you want to choose, once the Active Directory comes up, say use advanced mode installation. All right, so we say next. And just say next. You still want to do, in this case you choose existing forest, and you want to create a new, add a domain controller to an existing domain. You already have a domain controller set up. If you wanted to go ahead and create a forest, you would go ahead and create a new domain in an existing forest, which we don't have yet. Okay, so we don't want to create a new domain in a forest. Right now we have a forest, believe it or not. One tree does not make a forest. So you choose existing forest, add a domain controller in the existing forest. Now, type the name of any domain in the forest where you plan to install the domain controller. So in this, you got to specify your domain name. Then you can also specify credentials to use, and when you set these, it's got to be the credentials of that other domain controller. So I'm going to put in my specific credentials to Evil Hangout. All right, then press next. Of course, admin helps to spell it correctly. Can you believe it? Administrator. All right, now once I got my fingers working this morning. Okay, so there is my evilhangout.org, which is this one here, and I'm going to press next. And it's going to be, we haven't done anything with sites, so don't worry about it, just hit next. Now, you can at this point, I told you not to make this one DNS, all right, so I don't want to make it DNS, so I'm going to unselect this one, and I'm going to press next. And then once you're done is you're going to replicate the data over the existing domain, and again, just select next on this, next. The password is just for the event that if something happens to it, you can restore it. And once this is done, you will see that this will actually replicate. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. You guys have a great day. You're doing a great job so far. This is a fun project. I've always loved running it. And Again, I'll put you a little bit more information about files because I want you to make sure, I don't want you just creating the files, I need you to go ahead and associate the users and groups with those files and give them full permission. But I think I have that, but I'll reiterate that later. All right, have a great day.